What harmful things are being taught to children? Ignore bullies and they'll leave you alone. When you do that, one of two things are likely to happen. Either they'll mess with you more, or they'll move to someone else and bully them. If you stand up to bullies, they back down. The earlier in life you put these people in their place, the less likely they'll develop their bad behavior as a lifelong practice. Going too far on the "find your dream job and it'll never feel like work" stuff really messed me up when I wasn't excited about uni assignments and thought I had to change degrees. Being discouraged to speak up about illnesses because it makes them weird. Something's wrong with them. They talk about like, "You need therapy," which isn't a bad concept and you probably do need it, but they picture it in such a bad light. Basically all those crap social media influencers that teach young people that it's all about money and brand names. There was this one time my sister's Spanish teacher told her off for using vocabulary outside the sheet she'd been given for homework. Their task was to write a short essay introducing themselves in Spanish and use some simple adjectives. She asked me for help, and since I'm quite a bit older than her and know a decent amount of Spanish, I have her a few interesting adjectives and verbs to use instead of dumb stuff like nice and kind or whatever. She comes back after school close to tears and tells me she got scolded for using vocab that wasn't on the sheet. SMH teachers are supposed to encourage learning, not hinder it. Right, edit. Wow, I didn't expect this to blow up LMAO. Just to clarify, I wasn't helping my sister cheat face with tears of joy. I just gave her a couple of more interesting words than bland ones like nice and fun. You get me? If not, that's cool too. LMAO. Probably not harmful, but in kindergarten we were prohibited from playing soccer because it was too dangerous. We were kindergartners. We probably would stand there and kick the ball, not go full on FIFA or crap. Edit. What the frick? Thanks for the upvotes, guys. Kids are starting social media so early these days, and I think that's very dangerous because it puts a lot of pressure on the kid to attribute their worth to their social media success. I also think parents are way too open with their social media when it comes to their kids. And it's totally a violation of the child's privacy, of which some parents will never admit. Teaching them that it's not okay to fail. Some people need a little more time than others. It's okay to not get something now. Kids should be given more time to process things. Imagine having a poor grade because of a low score from the beginning of the year. How can we show children that it's not pass or fail? It's try and improve. To repress their emotions, it will only cause them to bottle them up and accumulate them to the point of exploding in an instant. No backtalk. Many adults use it as, "You're not allowed to challenge what I have to say." Makes sense if it's a cranky toddler being negative for negativity's sake. But suddenly older children can't question things or raise valid points of their own. That complaining is the same as not being grateful. Can't count the number of times growing up when adults basically told me to shut up whenever I was complaining about something and that I should be grateful that I was born where I was. Like, sure, I'm glad I wasn't born into some starving African family, but that doesn't mean everything is perfect over here and that we shouldn't try to improve things here as well. You do not have to play with everyone. There is a total lack of social accountability. If Laura is always cheating at tag, it's okay to not let her play. If little Billy throws sand in the sandbox, little Timmy does not have to play with him. Laura and Billy need to learn how to play appropriately. You show me respect first because I'm an adult and have authority, then I choose whether I should show you respect no other way. That they shouldn't question an adult. She's younger than you. Just let it go. Can't you be more compassionate? You're the older one here in this situation. She's a little child. She doesn't know any better. Absolutely hate this information that was drilled into me since I was a kid. Edit. I think children under the age of 3 are an exception to this though. I was referring to the 5 to 12-year-olds who could get away with stuff because they were younger. In a nasty divorce, the parents may only talk about each other's bad qualities and the kids may have issues with their parents' political views. At ages that children are really too young to understand them, they just spout off their parents' thoughts. The lie that life is fair and things happen for benevolent, valid reasons, then we let them get burned and figure it out themselves. If you have a different opinion than someone, you hate them and that's wrong. No. Telling tales or snitching, like how many kids are abused or bullied and won't come forward because of this. Doing the right thing will sometimes make others hate you. Be prepared for that. Kids today are more aware of consequence and their digital footprint than any generation before, speaking strictly of middle and high school-aged kids. They're extremely well aware of how something can come back to bite them later in life. Some might think this is good and a step towards a more mindful generation. But I disagree. They've just gotten better at hiding it, for the sake of maintaining a happy face and limiting their digital footprint. Kids today repress anything that might be perceived as off track. No tolerance policy and fighting back if you are getting beat up isn't right. Also, no hitting girls back. I personally hate when I hear parents telling their kids white lies to stop them from doing something. I would say what's harmful is what's not being taught. Edit. Been a few days since I placed this comment. Where's my freaking gold, you walking fleshlights? This is more at a high school level. But that trade schools or learning a trade is a lesser option compared to a standard college degree. Trade schools and learning a skilled trade need just as much emphasis as a college degree. Along those same lines, college or trade school should be treated as a busy investment. Time should be taken for kids, teens to examine how long it will take to repay their schooling and if that degree is worth the money. Especially now with previous generation living longer and staying in the job market longer. Combined with more and more people graduating with degrees, there is more supply and the demand is not growing evenly in all areas of expertise. Edit. Woot. My first ever medal. Lack of electronics, then given an overdose of electronics. Things happened to me and now I can't stop playing games. Also, I'm restricting myself now. Little girls get told all the time that boys are bullying them because they like them. That you need to go to college instead of saying college is an option. Finishing your plate, you should eat till you're full, not until there is no more food on your plate. That you shouldn't hit a woman. Don't hit anyone, unless it's self-defense. If my child is being hit by a woman, and bullied, equal rights, equal fights. When people said don't fight back to me, I always ignored them. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. We always had to stand up for yourself. One day when I came home with a bloody nose and black eye, my parents asked me what happened. I told them I got the crap beat out of me. My parents said if the little crap that beat me up came up to me again, that I had permission from them to beat the frick out of him. Next day he came up to me and wanted to fight. I beat the ever-loving crap out of him and was suspended for a week. The teachers knew he was bullying me too and did nothing because it was the principal's kid. Moral of the story is, if someone is bullying you, bully them back. That it's okay to take your anger out on other people. And that everyone should have social media and compare themselves to those who look better. History from a single perspective. I am a history teacher and I firmly believe one of the most damaging things schools do is teach history from a single perspective. Especially a Eurocentric one. It just isn't how history works and causes lots of issues for any person, group who doesn't share that single perspective. P.S. Teaching what I call great man history is almost as bad. History was made by more than presidents, inventors, and celebrities. Teaching only about significant figure after significant figure minimizes the impact of the 99,999,999% of the population that isn't super famous. Bullies are only bullies because they feel insecure about themselves and you should sympathize with them. Frick that. If someone is being crap-t to you, then they don't deserve your sympathy. That you can be anything you want in life. Sorry, but this just isn't correct. Poor Eddie, who can't grasp basic division, isn't going to be an astronaut. School grades determine worth. It seems like forcing kids to eat everything off their plate is pretty harmful. It doesn't matter if they're full. They have to clean off their plate and they can't leave the table until they do. That the world outside your house is a scary and dangerous place. In the United States, it is largely not. Let them explore without fear. School is the only way to be successful and college is a requirement. Teaching them to respect authority instead of learning to freely question everything. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Baby Shark, not that it's inherently harmful, but given the chance, my 5-year-old would watch that crap for 8 hours a day. What is it about those sharks? Do. In Pakistan, most of the girls are never taught any survival skills. My wife can spend 6 hours shopping for clothes but doesn't know anything about any hardware or electrical stuff. Please teach the girls to be self-sufficient. Teach them how to repair little stuff at home at least. My wife can now repair electric sockets and extension cords, etc. My nephew is selfish little crap who won't let anybody play with his toys or share his food but throw a tantrum if my niece won't share her stuff with him. I so want to slap that little turd when he does that, but his mother sometimes behaves like an entitled mother. So I keep my distance but try to correct him when she is not around. So, teach your kids to be considerate but also teach them to stand their ground when someone tries to two-time them. The oxymorons that parents use and expect you to understand them. Hey mom, you need help with the dishes. No thanks, nerf herder. I'll do it myself. Proceeds to walk away. Oh, now not gonna help your mom. Don't you know how much I'm going through? Fucking grounded, you missed abortion. Generally just overprotecting them from the outside world. Kids that are raised in such a way have a hard time when they go out into real life. That the news is completely reliable. It's not exclusively about what is taught, but how it is taught. For many children it seems like that many things are taught in absolutes. Boys don't cry, and girls have to behave like little princess. But these things are optional and definitely not the only right thing to do. Girls can drive a heavy machinery and boys should be allowed to cry. Fact crying is healthy. Keep in mind, these are examples for the sake of simplicity. Also, to get back to how things are taught seen from a totally different perspective, a lecture. As one teacher who is 60-year-old and hasn't had an upgrade on how to teach children. Standing in front of 30 14-year-olds telling them about mathematics is not the way to go. There are girls and boys in one classroom. Which is enough distraction at this age, and even a window seems far more interesting. I'm not the guy who can give you the better option on how to improve everything. But I think how it is done today is not ideal. Teaching kids to feed ducks bread is really harmful to the duck's digestion and nutrition.